The best locations on the Santa Fe line are from Caliente to the famous Loop. First, we'll visit the Loop and then turn our attention to Bealville. By this date, heavier power climbs the grade to Tunnel 9 to cross under the Loop. You can see the train crossing over itself. The telltale is gone by this date. Safety rules discouraged walking the roofs of cars, and the roof walks were being removed from most cars. The last unit, number 823, was one of 50 Alco RSD-15s in its 1960 numbering. By the 70s, they would be renumbered in the 9800 series. These two RSD-15s were sold to the Utah Railway by 1975, where they hauled coal for about 4 more years. RSD-15s were well known for their ability to lug heavy loads up long grades. They worked well at this in the Tehachapis, and now they would prove their worth again in the demanding Wasatch Mountains. The 2 lead locomotives are SD-24s that would soon be rebuilt into SD-26s by the Santa Fe's shops. During the 70s, the Santa Fe was ridding itself of all its Alco locomotives. There was nothing wrong with the Santa Fe's Alcos. They didn't want to continue supporting parts inventories. Alco had already left the U.S. locomotive market, which was another consideration. This S4 Alco switcher, number 1511, was sold off in 1973. Many other S4s remained on the Santa Fe property until about 1978. Back to the Loop, and we find a leading GP35 with a fresh coat of paint. The Santa Fe started repainting units in the yellow bonnet scheme in about 1972. By extending the yellow paint back past the cab area, they returned the Warbonnet S shape to locomotives. A leading F-45 is heading into Tunnel 9 to pass under the Loop. On the other side of Tunnel 9, the westbounds glide downgrade on the way to Bealville, about 9 miles timetable west. From Bealville, you can see longer trains climb the grade and emerge from Tunnel 5 on a high cliffside named Cliff, while the end of the train is still in Bealville. The lead unit is a yellow bonnet SD-26. The 6 mid-train helpers are all still in the older dominant blue color. Caboose 370 was rebuilt as a CE-2 class model in Santa Fe's shops. It was originally built in the 1940s. Just as the caboose clears the switch, the locomotives pop out of Tunnel 5 up at Cliff. A westbound led by a SD-45 drops down into Bealville with the circle and cross logo on its nose. When the old blue units were repainted, the circle and cross emblem, dating from about 1901, would be replaced by the cigar band logo that we'll see on the lead unit of the next train. The Cowl units, both freight and passenger models, were graced with the cigar band nose logo even in the dominant blue era. This 1968 built F-45 was no exception. A 5-unit set of helpers drops down into Bealville to cut into the train waiting on the siding. They will show up again about 2/3 of the way back in the train. The next train has an FP45 Cowl unit, number 5945, fresh in new yellow bonnet paint. These were 3,600 horsepower machines. The back pair of units are U-36Cs built by General Electric. This model had 98 other sister units on the Santa Fe. They were built from 1972 to 1975. Only a handful were delivered in the older blue paint with the circle and cross emblem. Much of Santa Fe's freight comes or goes to Chicago, where the all-important eastern connections are made for interchange. We'll take a brief stop near there at a crossing of the Old Rock Island line.